You're standing in a crowd of 40,000 strangers. Your team scores, and without thinking, you scream a word you don't even know the meaning of in perfect rhythm with everyone around you. Your heart is pounding, your skin is buzzing. For a few seconds, you do not feel like one person in a crowd. You feel like part of something that cannot be hurt. That feeling has a name. And it goes back further than football, further than language, further than almost anything else you do as a human being. Scientists call it collective effervescence. The French sociologist Émile Durkheim coined the term over 100 years ago, watching religious rituals, not football matches. He noticed that when people move and chant together, something strange happens to their sense of self. The boundary between you and the group starts to dissolve. You stop feeling like an individual and start feeling like a single organism with thousands of heartbeats. Durkheim called this the birth of the sacred. Today you call it match day. But why would your brain do this? Why would chanting the same 4 words over and over with strangers make you feel stronger, braver, almost invincible? The answer starts with rhythm. Historian William McNeill spent decades studying armies, and he found something odd buried in military history. Soldiers who marched and drilled together in tight synchrony weren't just better coordinated, they felt closer to each other. McNeill called this muscular bonding, a kind of emotional glue created purely by moving in time with other bodies. No words needed, no shared beliefs required, just rhythm, repeated, together. Your brain didn't evolve in stadiums, it evolved in small bands of hunters and gatherers, maybe 50 people, rarely more than 150. Survival meant cooperation. A group that moved as one, hunted as one, defended as one, outlived a group of scattered individuals. So your brain built in a reward for synchrony. When you move in time with others, when you chant in time with others, ancient circuitry lights up and tells you something simple. You are safe. You are not alone. You belong to something bigger than your own skin. Stanford researchers Scott Wiltermuth and Chip Heath tested this directly. They had strangers walk in synchronized steps, then asked them to play trust games with each other. The synchronized walkers cooperated more. They trusted each other faster. They even sacrificed their own winnings for the good of the group, all because their footsteps had matched for a few minutes beforehand. Nothing else changed, just the rhythm. Now scale that up to 80,000 voices in a stadium, all chanting the same syllables, all stamping the same beat into the concrete. Your nervous system reads this as overwhelming evidence of safety in numbers. And your brain rewards you for it with a flood of feel-good chemistry. Dopamine for the predictability of the beat, oxytocin for the bonding, and a release of endorphins that researchers have measured directly. Oxford researcher Bronwyn Tarr ran an experiment on this exact mechanism. She had groups dance and move in synchrony, then tested their pain thresholds afterward. The synchronized groups could tolerate significantly more pain than people who moved the same amount, but out of rhythm with each other. Chanting together at a World Cup match isn't just loud, it's a chemical event happening inside your skull, dulling pain and fear at the same time it's amplifying courage. This is why you don't just hear the chant. You feel it in your chest, your throat, your spine. Your body is reacting the way it would have reacted around a fire 40,000 years ago, when a unified war cry from your tribe meant the difference between survival and extinction. Back then, a synchronized roar told predators and rival tribes one thing: we are many, we are one. Do not test us. You don't have a rival tribe stalking you in the stands. But your nervous system doesn't know the difference. It only knows the pattern. Repeated sound, shared rhythm, thousands of bodies moving as one. And so it floods you with exactly the same invincibility your ancestors needed to face something far more dangerous than a missed penalty. Here's where it gets stranger. This effect doesn't require you to even like the people around you. Strangers who would never speak to each other outside the stadium will hug after a goal, cry together after a loss, defend each other from rival fans without a second thought. Researchers studying identity fusion describe this as a kind of merging, where your personal identity briefly fuses with the group's identity. For 90 minutes, the line between you and your team's 22,000 other fans gets thin enough to disappear. That's also why losing feels like such a personal wound, and why winning feels like a victory you somehow earned yourself, even though you never touched the ball. Your brain isn't being irrational. It's running a program written long before football existed, a program that rewards group synchrony with the deepest, oldest form of belonging your nervous system can offer. So the next time you find yourself chanting a song you can barely explain, arm in arm with people you've never met, notice what's actually happening underneath it. That feeling of invincibility isn't really about the score or the song or even the sport. It's a 40,000-year-old survival signal, borrowed by a stadium still telling your body exactly what it told your ancestors around a fire. You are not alone. You are part of something that cannot be hurt. And maybe that's the real reason you keep coming back, match after match, chant after chant, standing among 40,000 strangers who for 90 minutes stop being strangers at all.